Hello, on the verge of entering Chag HaMatzot, entering Pesach, very exciting and festive day. Um, I would want to look at an interesting point that I think I raised here in the past, but not on Pesach and not from this perspective. The Torah in Sefer Shmot, in Parashat Va'era, Perek Vav, Pasuk Yud Gimel, says, "Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe ve'el Aaron, ויצווים אל בני ישראל ואל פרעה מלך מצרים להוציא את בני ישראל מארץ מצרים." Hashem tells Moshe and Aaron to talk to Bnei Israel and to Paro to take Am Yisrael out of Egypt. To speak to Paro to free Am Yisrael we can understand, but what does it mean to speak to Am Yisrael to free Am Yisrael? And there are different explanations to this pasuk. The Meshech Chochma that I quote a lot, Rabbi Meir Simcha Kohen Midvinsk, he explains that that this pasuk tells us something very bothersome, something that is very different than what we're used to think about. This pasuk tells us that there were Jews on different levels. There were different levels within Am Yisrael, and Jews on higher levels had Jewish slaves. They kept their brothers under them. They were on a lower level than the Egyptians, but there were Jews that were on lower levels than they were. And therefore, you have to tell not only Paro, but you have to tell Am Yisrael to free Am Yisrael. להוציא את בני ישראל מארץ מצרים. When you leave Egypt, you're leaving in a way that there are no more differences in your social status. There is no hierarchy. Everyone is leaving. You let go of everyone. No more enslavement to your brothers, to your sisters from Am Yisrael. And I was thinking that this is something very interesting for us to think about in Leil HaSeder, for us to think through Pesach. Not only about ourselves being slaves and being redeemed, but maybe even another question. Are there people that we enslave? Are there people that we behave to in a way that maybe we're turning them into be on different, of course, not on the level of the Egyptians, chas v'chalila, but on different levels, turning them into slaves to us, to our wills? How do we treat other people that have to listen to us? People that are on lower social statuses than we are, people that have a harder time than we have, maybe even within the family. Are there people that we have to let go of them before we enter Chag HaChirut? I think that's an interesting thought, at least for me it is, and I hope we all manage to leave Egypt and also free others from our grasps, the different kinds, peer pressure, economically, socially, all of them, to let go and have all of Am Yisrael yotzim lechirut. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.